Tonight we get to watch the under 1500 tournament, so that'll be fun. Hopefully I'll have time to go over a game I played in my Lone Wolf training games. May or may not have time to do that. The tournament's an hour and a half. Hey Ratchet, the tournament's an hour and a half, so I'm hoping that I should have enough time afterwards to go over the game. I want to go over it before, and my opponent may even show up. I'm hoping. He said he might show up, and if he does, then we can look at it together. But for the most part, there's not much I can do about it because the tournament's like right away. I was thinking we could go over the game for a half an hour first and then do the tournament. But since the tournament starts right away, I want to focus on it. I do want to talk during the beginning about some principles, and basically I'm working on a checklist of how to teach someone how to play better. You got your second jab today. What's a jab? Oh, COVID vaccine. Good job, good job. Excellent, Ratchet. And did the first one make you sick? Because the second one didn't bother me that much, or is it the other way around? One of them got me sick. I'm pretty sure it was the first one. I think it was now I'm thinking it was the second one. Anyway. So. Yeah, we have some out-of-towners playing in the tournament. Jazz Smith says it's 2 a.m. where he's at in the tournament. And I will be going over there right away. And the games should be starting momentarily, guys. Momentarily. Alright, so let's switch over on time. And as you can see, we have 4 opponents: Lemurf, Dave Ray, Jazzy Smith, or Jazz Smith, and Knights Marion. All right, Haas, how many different names do you have, Haas? Because that's got to be like the 4th time you followed me. I'm taking it you're the same person. You got to be, right? I don't know, Haas, unless you stop following me. Dash Tree, Tur Laughing Out Loud, thank you for the follow. All right, we only have 1 game showing right now, which usually means, the bad news means that one of those 4 people are not actually in the tournament. Hold, you guys can watch this. I'll be back. Hello? Good night. Well, I did a call. I needed to call you. I forgot. I'm streaming. Go ahead, shoot. Okay, I'll write it down. And who are they for? Oh, for sale? No. For what? Ooh. I made a note, and hopefully you'll remember to ask me, and I'll remember to mention it. Okay. Okay, dude. Okay. No, right at you. Is Grace around? Alright, tell her I say goodnight. I forgot to call before I started streaming, and now I'm streaming. And I know you don't want me calling at 10 p.m. Alright, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Alright, love you. Bye. Mi esposa in el teléfono. All right, pretty good game here so far. Going quickly too, though. I mean, they are playing a 10 plus 5, not a 10 plus 3 like my tournament. The under 2000 is a 10 plus 3. So it looked like he was playing the Scandinavian and ended up sacrificing a pawn. And now the King's Marion has a very bad pawn position along with being down a pawn. And, yep, just having to retreat the bishop now to block the king. White's looking pretty solid. He's going to start putting the question to the bishop and saying, where are you going to go? Should not trade, by the way. Should not trade and fix the pawns. Should just move the knight and then chase the bishop again. That would be a better plan. Can also come here with a plan to here, especially while the bishop is pinned. can go after the knight while the bishop is pinned. But personally, I like this, followed by that. That'd be my preference if I were playing and playing quickly. So as we talked about, this is a 10+5 game, so the game goes faster than what we would normally want to play, right? Hey King, how's it going? Yeah, what are you guys talking about? I don't know. Oh, what happened, King? So I know you got a new account, but you didn't tell me what happened to your old account. Did you say it just died and you couldn't get to it? Right? You didn't get banned or anything, right? Getting new Vicars? Vickers. What is the new what? Oh, you did get suspended. What did you get suspended for? And nothing's wrong with chess developing. We love chess developing, right? We love chess developing. And this was beautiful. This was beautiful. Murph did what he's supposed to do. Pin piece, what do? You pile up on it. And he found a way to pile up on it immediately. Immediately. Castling does not solve the problem, and now he wins the exchange. Bishop, and he won the bishop. So he's got a full piece plus the exchange. He's up a full rook. He's up a full rook, guys. Really? King? Where did you make this joke? On somebody's stream? Interesting. Interesting. All right. So Murph is now ahead a whole piece. All he has to do is relax and not panic, right? He had this move. Nice move, by the way. Nothing wrong with it. Queen can't even come over here. So this is a nice square for the knight. It's a nice square for the rook. And his opponent is helping him simplify the game. So that's a terrible move for his opponent. Even if he wins a pawn, it's a terrible move because it trades off pieces when you're down. So Murph should just take, give him this pawn, and then develop get the rook on the open file, and he'll have both open files dominated. The knight is protected, so no worries there. He could play chase the queen while taking over the other. There's only 2 open files, guys. 1 semi. 2 open files, and he can own both of those open files. And yeah, free candy is always good. This was, I mean, Black did win a pawn out of this, but he lost the rook earlier. So yes, back to the beginnings, right? So good place to start, at the beginning. So we were talking about, for beginners, how do they learn, what should they be doing? And I said, that they should be learning opening principles. Key, don't give away free candy is key number 1. Key number 1, stop giving away free candy and identify when free candy is offered. Okay, this is still the only game, so somebody's not there, and it's got to be Dave. Yep, Dave Ray is also paused out. If any of you guys are under 1,500, please join in the tournament. Okay, if any of you guys are under 1,500, please jump in the tournament. I'm going to fix my Nightbot because I'm sure I don't have it properly set up. Let me get my Nightbot set up correctly. I know it's not right. No idea where the timers are hiding in this menu when it looks like this. Hello. Okay, those are commands. I'm looking for my timers. Here we go. And yep, qualifier's not tonight. Tonight is the 1500. 1500's on, but it's Wednesday. Alright, fixed my Nightbot, which was definitely not up to date. Oh, and I'm going to steal something from Linear Stork. I loved, Linear Stork had a great idea. He has a command for Principle of the Day, POTD. I think I'm going to I might make it principle of the week, being a slight bit different, but mostly because I think it's worth it to work on one principle all week. Again, this is just bad. You're allowing a trade of queens. I'd start off with the check, force him, he has to take back and ruin the pawns. But you could just take first, then take, and then ruin the pawns, and you have 2 rooks. This should be an easy finish. So we're looking for under 1,500 rated players. Oh, did he really? Oh, Ratchet, that is sad. I like the GM. I mean, he gave me some advice that I've been preaching and teaching and learning from, but man, he left the NSU? Man. Alright, so Murph is doing what he's supposed to be doing, and now he can bring this rook down here, threatening double attack, right? This is a double attack. Gets to attack both pawns. If his opponent comes after this pawn, Murph can protect or push. But I don't like push because that just gives opportunities. Simpler would be chess to protect and then make a look for his king later, and he's safe and he's good to go. Yeah, maybe he does, but it didn't cost him anything to be on the team, though, I would imagine, right? You're just on the team. So hopefully, like I said, definitely the last half an hour I'll go over my game. It was a Lone Wolf game, another one. Enjoying the Lone Wolf games. I think they're great training. Forcing myself to play a 30 plus 30 and take my time. I will tell you the opponent I played against played very well, and the thing I liked the most about him was he took his time. He might have taken too much time. He got into time trouble, but I really liked the fact that he took his time. He did not rush. He used his clock, which a lot of people don't do when we're even playing this longer time frame, right? 30 plus 30. A couple of games I played, people were whistling through moves. Don't like this move. Just take the pawn and eat the pawn and make life easy on yourself. His opponent's going to try to get it back. And see, this check does nothing. I mean, he pushes him over here. Oh, he's going to win this pawn. He's going to win this pawn. But he's got to be careful, back rank mate now. Because this guy should go to here or here to threaten a back rank mate. And if Murph makes a mistake and goes after the pawn, here we go. Why do you do that? There's only one reason to do that, guys. To go for back rank mate. It's the only reason he's doing that. He can throw in the check first, but then he's got to come over here, or he's got to make loft, or he's got to bring his king so a king can get away. The only thing he can't do is not say check and allow this. Oh, 30 plus 20? Well, Ratchet, you know, you could play in this thing we're talking about. See, now I'm worried that he's going to think, oh, I can mate him or something. He's going to get checkmated. Now, he should know better. He should know better. And he's got 5 minutes on his clock. He should know better. But we've known people to make mistakes, right? So we're hoping for blocking or bring the king out. If he doesn't want to give up this pawn to any problems, like, you know, okay, good. He made luft. He did see it. He made luft. Yeah, so Ratchet, the way it works, it's pretty interesting because you don't need a regular schedule at all. Because what happens is you both get onto Slack, and then you schedule your game with your opponent, whatever works for you. You find whatever time works for both of you to play, and that's how you do it. All right, I really like this move because even here, that's mate. His king can't. No, see, he's missing the thread. See, look here, guys. You gotta be able to see the one move mate threats. He can't protect the pawn because if he goes here, king moves, it's checkmate. Pawn moves, it's checkmate. Rook can't protect the pawn. So you get to win this pawn because it's a mate otherwise. So, missed that. Hey, Linear Stalk, I was just talking about you, my friend. I was just talking about you, saying that I was going to steal your... I'm surprised he resigned. Oh, he didn't resign. Sorry. His opponent helped him out. So, of course, this is just terrible. It gives him checkmate. There was no checkmate otherwise, so he could have just went and started attacking pawns. He could have said check first, make him come up, and then attack a pawn. But either way, he could have attacked pawns. No checkmate. So the better move would have been here for Murph, threatening mate this way. Good one to use later for him for a study, though. All right, guys. So we got a second game. Oh, looks like Dave did show up, which is awesome because now they'll have 4 playing and we'll have 2 games going on at the same time pretty soon. Yeah, so I'm thinking instead of, for me, instead of principal of the week, principal of the day, I'm going to make it principal of the week. I have a pretty tight schedule that I stream 4 days a week, and one principal I usually keep teaching throughout the whole week. So I'm thinking a principal of the week, but it's totally thanks to Linear Stalk. Check out his stream. Do not backseat drive while he's playing. You guys know better. I didn't. I misbehaved. But don't backseat drive when he's playing, okay? 1,200 and a 2,000. King, you asked so many silly questions. You know it. 800 points. Next. Give me tough ones like that, man. 800 rating points. That's the difference. Oh, really? You don't think I do principles? Well, we're going to fix that. We're going to fix that, hopefully. I'm back to, I felt like it was over the summer where I was taking a break almost. So now I'm back into the swing of teaching. My classes, I have a real life, what do you call it? I have a student, no. I have a, by the way, that drops this pawn. I have an in real life class that starts tomorrow. And so after tomorrow, yeah, starting tomorrow, hopefully, because I'll be teaching again real classes, I will hopefully get back to doing more principles and teaching with you guys. Yeah, I know. You know, part of it's Mondays we do the under 2,000 tournament, so I don't teach as much. We watch the tournament, and we do talk about the games. I'm teaching, but not the same, right? It's teaching, but it's not the same. Ratchet, you're making me feel bad. I'm thinking I got to focus back on it. Now, 1,500 day, on this day, I'm spending more time with these guys, watching them. Now, I will say, last Friday, I went over the game I played in the Lone Wolf as a teaching purpose. I thought that was very useful from a teaching point of view. So, I thought I was doing better there, but yeah, but yeah, you're making me want to do that. Oh my goodness, you're making me want to do that. Gosh, you're making me feel bad, Ratchet. I do have some stuff that I was teaching that I want to show you guys. But like I said, usually what happened also at the beginning, when I started in January, I was teaching the class. So whatever I was teaching in class, I would also teach on stream and vice versa. So again, I think I will get back to where I feel more comfortable of doing stuff, which would be teaching more. I will be doing more teaching very shortly because the school season will start, and I feel comfortable that I'll be doing that again. Of course, I'm the only one who can ever make myself feel bad. You can say whatever you want, and I don't have to feel bad about it, right? I mean, no one else can make you feel inferior without your consent. Okay, 500 points, 500 chess master points, whoever can tell me who that quote was from. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And I know that's not exactly what we're talking about, but no one can make you feel bad without your consent. No one can make you feel guilty without your consent. So all of these things are based on your consent. I think maybe Dave Ray should have just taken. They're not going to get another game yet because Knights Marion played LeMurph, so the computer's going to wait till this game is over to pair up the next two. I like both. And theoretical battles sounds like it's a positional grind anyway. I would say the difference between a tactical battle, how about that? The difference between a tactical battle and a positional grind. How about that? I like them both. Like I told you guys, I grew up playing much more positional chess than anything else, and it's just happened. I don't even know what to tell you. My dad had me playing more positional than anything else, and I ended up playing positional and learning position. I read my system at a very young age, around 16, 17 years old. Oh, thanks, Linear, thanks. All right, that just drops a piece. No, that doesn't even get that one. There's two here, but there's two here. So that just drops a piece. I don't get it. Free candy, guys. Free candy. So, King, I was kind of joking around with you when I said it's 800 points difference. It is 800 points different, but I understand your question. So let's talk about that a little bit. In Lee Chess, and I'm going to use Lee Chess. You can use chess.com. The numbers will be different. But when you get hundreds of points difference between players, it's different knowledge levels, different ability levels, different confidence levels, different skill levels. All right. So saying all that, in over-the-board chess, 100 rating points difference equates to a 3 out of 4 win expectation. So if you're 100 points higher than your opponent, you should win 3 out of 4 games. That's for 100 points difference over the board. So 1200 versus 2000 over the board is ridiculous. You're talking 800 point difference. You're talking the 2000 should win pretty much probably 30 out of 31 times or 50 out of 51 times. It should be ridiculous, right? It's just going to keep going astronomically. But I think what you're asking me, King, is, well, you know, what's the difference in ability level really? How would you say that? How good would a player be? How different is the ratings? And in that aspect, I would offer a different way to look at it. So I think of 1200s in Lee Chess. Again, I'm using Lee Chess. 1200 in Lee Chess is relatively a weak player that will give away tons of free candy. Tons of free candy. Now, that's for 1200s. Actually, you know, I've done analysis for 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and on. I was surprised to find out that 1800s in Lee Chess, because when I first started, I figured the ratings were comparable to over the board, but it's not. 1200 in Lee Chess, in my mind, don't understand that move, by the way. Here attacks the pawn, doesn't block in the rook. But anyway, but I can see now he's trying to keep this from happening. But again, I wouldn't have been that worried about that personally. I mean, he takes... you know, if your knight moves, you still have 2 pieces protecting it. So I didn't get it. I would have went here with the knight. So yes. So again, I find that the 1200s are actually probably equivalent to over the board under 1,000. Under 1,000. So my kids that are under 1,000 cannot get to 1,000. We give them a nice, not a reward, but a big pat on the back and say, great job. When they reach 1,000 over the board, none of my students are 1,000 over the board, and they're playing on Lee Chess, and they're 12, 13, 1,400. So, surprising to me was that 1,800s have no clue about endgames. So, I would even say all the way up to 1,800, they don't understand endgames. Now, why is that? I believe they don't understand endgames because they're playing online. A lot of people have only played online, have never played over the board tournaments. And if you only play online and you've been playing Blitz and Bullet and Rapid, right? You're playing really fast. They don't even get to endgames, right? I've tried to teach some of my beginners endgames, and some of them flat out tell me, well, why are you showing me this? I never get to an endgame. I never play endgames. My games never get to an endgame. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, that is one way to look at it, right? And therefore, why study endgames if you never ever get to them? Here I think I'm just taking, pawn takes back. You could go with the check. He could take and then win your knight. and that would be bad, right? Because right now we have 2 pieces for the rook, and so we can't give up both pieces for the rook. So after he takes, probably better is to come here and attack the pawn, possibly. Again, I would have rather had the knight be here anyway. And then the rook wouldn't have been trapped, because now when the rook moved, he was about to drop a knight. Oh, good. Yeah, Linear, it's funny, because I like Linear Stork. One of the things I liked about his stream and about him, the way he does chess, is he analyzes his games afterwards. And guess what, guys? He doesn't use the computer. Now, he said he doesn't like the computer. It's junk. It's terrible. I don't think that way. I think that it's not human. It doesn't help you get better as much as you think. And it's lazy in my mind to a degree. And now that doesn't mean you shouldn't use the computer at all. It just means you shouldn't, what would you call it? You shouldn't use like a crutch. You shouldn't fall back on it automatically. It shouldn't be your first choice. You should be figuring out your pluses and minuses on your own. You will learn so much more by figuring it out on your own instead of using the computer. Yes, I agree. It breeds laziness. And it breeds misconceptions. Because you could try to play like the computer, but you won't, and therefore you'll lose games because you're making moves that you think the computer will make up front. Now, I will say, even in my last 2 games, I made moves that were inspired by AlphaZero, but I didn't make them because I knew AlphaZero ever did them. I did them because I saw them being played by grandmasters and IMs, and I saw why the grandmasters and IMs were doing it, and it made sense to me to do it. So that's why I ended up doing it. Yeah, actually, okay. I love endgames. Okay, that's one way that you and I are extremely different. Now, I would go here because I don't want to go here and allow this push, right? If I go here and I allow this push, it can be annoying. But if you go here to attack the pawn and he pushes, a lot less annoying. You could just take if you want. You can even take with the queen if you want. Because your knight and the bishop should be good, and you'll get rid of that center pawn. But again, if you come here, then we get this fork situation, right, where they have to decide. I guess you could still just take with the queen, but then when the queen takes, pawn takes, you lose your knight. So this would be an alignment, right? If he puts the knight here, there's an alignment. If he puts the knight here, there's no alignment threat, guys. No alignment threat, and he has this threat coming. No alignment threat. So I like that. That's the move I like, guys. Hey, Bit, how are you? I was hoping you'd make it. Yes, I do want to go over the Lone Wolf game. Unfortunately, unless you're okay with staying with us for an hour and a half or so, well, an hour now, we have an under 1500 tournament. We usually analyze and watch and learn together. But I have been talking about our game. And so I will reiterate for you, Bit, that Bit was my opponent today, by the way, guys. I gave you kudos, Bit, and you could go back and look at the VOD if you ever want to. But I gave you kudos because you are I think you're the first person. I've played 4 games, or four games now in the Lone Wolf. I think I've played 4 games. We've played 4 rounds, right? And you're the first person who actually used this clock. You're the first person who actually took your time. And I've been trying to take my time more. So I was very happy to see that you took your time. You didn't just play like you were playing speed chess or rapid or anything else. So yeah, okay, round 4. So yeah, I was very happy. Yeah, come back in an hour and we'll go over it, definitely. Yes, stockfish, or is that just it's a fish? Okay, and your opponent was blitzing moves, Bit? We can look over that game too if you like. You can look at that game too. Jazz is way down on time. 56 seconds, and he's down on material. White could just trade down because, again, the bishop and the knight are better. He could do that, and he win this. He needs to get this pawn. Oh, that's funny. That's good. You like the 1 clock, the view? The view's better? Yes, it is. It is. Hey, Chescudo, how are you? Yes, he was threatening to trap that rook, but he didn't get a chance to. And there could have been complications if he pushed the pawn, and he could have gotten the rook out. But that's okay, because he would have traded off the queens. All right, got to get my hellos in, get my shout-outs in. Oh, that was nice. Now he gets the... but it's not that nice, guys. He takes... Oh, no, no, no. Oh, that was beautiful. I take that back. That was beautiful. Look at this. Look at this. I was thinking, yeah, he takes, but then he takes back, and then he's going to lose the knight. But yeah, if he takes, you go here with check. And you still win the queen. That was nice. That was very nice. And now it's just, and now he's just under time pressure and giving away free candy because of time pressure, and game is over. Black resigned. All right, we should see another game, but that was a very nice ending. That with his opponent in time trouble, he had, and this is one of those benefits of being ahead on the clock, right? So this move attacks here, protects here, but it's already protected here. This is just bad. Why? Because of this beautiful pin. And it's not a skewer, because the king is worth more. But what is it? It's an alignment. Here we go with alignment. And even better, there's also this forked alignment. So even if black takes, white gets to go here and still win the queen. That is gorgeous, guys. That is gorgeous. Yes, that is a puzzle-worthy moment. Beautiful. Beautiful. We want that one for sure. You're welcome. We hadn't seen you in a while. Glad to have you back. So, two up top with two. We know should be Lemurf and Dave Ray should be the next matchup. And Knights Marion against Jazz Smith. Oh, definitely we'll make a puzzle out of it. In fact, I have games to make puzzles out of for the 1500s. A few of them. I got to get to work on that pretty soon. All right, that was that game. Now we have Dave Ray with Murph, like I predicted. Murph has black. And Jazz Smith has white against Knights Marion. Oh, we got a D4 opening. Interesting. We got a little, looks like an Indian system going on. I like the little modern look, Knights Marion. And we're going with a classic take over the center, put all my pawns there. And this is all normal, because now black strikes at the center at the right time. He might pin the knight first. And he may even decide to also fianchetto the queen side. But this is an opportunity for black is going to break open and attack the center when he's ready. I don't think so. Not that game. Let's see. In this game, maybe. Let's see what happened here. We have E4, E5. And no, we did not get, but we got, I believe this one is a Damiano? I don't remember. I don't always remember the names of them either. Don't really worry about that normally. Hey, Ratchet, get some sleep, my friend. Get some sleep. Hey, thanks for stopping by and being the first chatter as normal. On move 11, I only watched one game of yours, Linear, and that was a nice long game, and you had some nice moves in there. Nice moves in there. Good games. Oh, okay. Ponziani, thank you, sir. I believe you. Have a good night. So far so good, except we have a pawn hanging, but can you take it? So if you take the pawn, we might start piling up on it, but you can protect it with a pawn. This knight is not in the greatest spot to allow a pawn push to attack. Knight can go other places, but it's going to be, it's a question. Do you want to take the risk? Now, you could do this first. So he could have done this first with check, right? Depending on how he protects. If he protects with the bishop, you could have traded it. White would have taken back and probably taken back with the knight, so therefore protecting the pawn, so that might not have been as much fun. But actually, again, you don't even have to. You could just let him go here. Then you could have taken, because then if white tried to pile up on you, you would have been able to castle soon enough. So unfortunately, I think Murph is thinking of things like this, and I don't like the knight here only because the knight has no good runaway squares afterwards. So actually, in this case, I would have rather seen the knight go here. Why? Because he has no good runaway squares now. So eventually, it's not right away, but eventually, if white gets a chance to chase him with a pawn, he may have no squares to go to. All right, this game has he's traded off that nicely. Oh, yes. Let's see what happened here. All right. So white's decide to come here and then change his mind quickly. All right, bishop comes out, and we get this alignment. See, we're looking for alignments, guys. He found an alignment that he liked. I might have stayed with the longer diagonal, but he's finding alignments. Forces the queen back, and now he realizes, oh, I can try to get rid of the fianchetto bishop, which is a good idea in general. Okay, well, takes. We know we don't want to usually take. We know we don't want to normally take and bring the queen in. All right, that's not normal. But I was looking at possibilities of discovered attacks eventually. So white has now decided let's do pawn storm because the king has been identified. It's on this side of the board. We know where it is. It's stuck over here. And he's thinking, hey, got rid of the dark squared bishop. Time for me to start pawn storming in. So this is aggressive. Let's go attack. Let's kill our opponent. While black, if you notice, very passive. He's not doing anything to attack white. All right, looks like black we did get to trade that off. And this move, not crazy about, guys. I don't understand why we are trading off our bishop. Here would have been fine, castle, but maybe he's just thinking, hey, you know, we're both down. It's totally equal right now. I'm anticipating a trade. Yep. Alrighty, and I'm anticipating a castling. And that way it wouldn't matter anyway. We could break the pin quite easily. But again, alignment. It's all about alignment. There are alignment issues all over the place. So black is finally looking to open up the board a little bit. But yes, white can just close it back down. Black can just close it back down. And white closed it back down. Black has trouble opening this up. Black is going to have a lot of trouble opening this game up. You know, how does he proceed to try to get his pieces active? White has more space. That's what happens when you like this. You have more space, and he's attacking, and the pawn pushes are coming. You could try castling queenside or just staying in the middle. There is no dark squared bishop to worry about this alignment, although the queen might be able to play in the alignment eventually too. Would love to be able to push the pawn, but you definitely can't. There's 3 already hitting it versus only 1. So this bishop is out of the game. If he comes here, he's still out of the game. He'd have to come back here and hope to get into the game later. This knight isn't in the game, right? He's got no squares. This knight has no squares. He has to go backwards. Black is totally cramped and just getting suffocated. So, King, you asked me about positional chess. Here's an example of positional chess or positional considerations. There's been no tactics. White has got what he's gotten to purely by positional considerations. I don't know if he even understands that he's taking advantage of positional considerations, but by far he is. He's dominating the board positionally. All right, I think you need to be shoving this forward eventually, just to finish locking it down, guys, and then get to work over here on pushing. Well, I can't do that one first. You know, he's got to figure this out because he doesn't want to help black improve his pieces. Right now, his pieces are doing absolutely nothing, and you don't want to help white improve those pieces. Yeah, I would say white is definitely winning the battle of the opening. Yeah. Yep. Fully developed. Queen isn't developed. Fully developed. Oh, no, he's not fully developed. The rooks are not talking. I lied. White has not fully developed. White should get fully developed. But white's probably trying to figure out, how can I get this guy and cause trouble? And it's not too hard. He moves the knight away first, so the bishop holds the pawn, and you move on. I love this one, because if he does this, you get this beautiful square with a check and a fork of winning a pawn. So you needed a place to put the knight anyway, and here's a place. Here's a place. Alright, let's see what happened with our Murph game. Our hero, the Murph, wins a pawn, right? Does he? No. Look at that. Missed a discovered attack. Missed a discovered attack. And why? Look, we're in alignment, guys. He's attacking this pawn. This move does what? Attacks this pawn twice. He's attacking the pawn twice. It's defended once. Murph has to respond, guys. This way's fine. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. He could do that. He could have done that. He can also do this. What he can't do is totally ignore this attack. And more so than ignoring the attack, he's now allowed a discovered attack by putting himself in an alignment problem. And so the check comes quite quickly, and the knight's... Now, if the knight falls, you get to take this knight, at least, right? At least it's a knight for a knight. But there's nothing that says he has to take the knight, but it's a knight for a knight at the moment. But you could do this. You could do that. So Murph actually gets out of this. I mean, you could still take, but then you take here, and then this pawn is hanging. It gets dicey. It gets dicey. Interesting. Yeah, Murph's alive. Not as bad as I thought. Oh, you like Queen F4 for white? Threatening to get over here? I do too. That would have been nice. I'll have to agree with you, King. That would have been a nice choice. All right, he's got a fork. Murph has got a fork out of this mess. He's got to be a little careful though, because he's still going to try to get over here, maybe here to here. Because if he can get that discovered check in, Murph's in big trouble. If he can get the discovered check in, Murph is in big time trouble. Yeah, Queen to E3. No, not Queen to E3. He doesn't have an in. No, Queen to F2. Queen to F2. No, why do you like Queen E3? Why does everybody like Queen E3? Where do you go after that? Yeah, now he's got this and he's winning the game. Now he's winning the game. I don't even know how he stops him. That Murph is in big trouble. Oh, okay. Take the bishop first. Take the bishop first. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Take the bishop first. I buy that. Yep, I get it. Yeah, I don't think it can be. Yeah, this is a one game as far as I can tell. Yeah, this is a one game as far as I can tell. All right, Murph fell into some problems. So that alignment still was a problem, guys. Still allowing the check with tempo was still a problem. You get attacked twice. We always talk about it. What do you do when you're under attack, right? So if we go back to here, when he moved the knight here, he has to see this double attack. What do? You have 5 ways to deal with it, and he did none. He did the least way. He didn't even attack something of equal or greater value. He took a pawn. So he wasn't even attacking something of equal or greater value, guys. It's trading a pawn for a pawn, and this pawn is infinitely more valuable than this pawn at this time. So that was just a bad choice. And this doesn't work. Bishop just goes here, and it's, well, that's going to be check, and then mate. Only one legal move, and then mate. Think he'll be fancy and go here, and then go here, and then allow him to get out? Nah. Shouldn't be. Alright, so in this game, we did get the knight here that I liked. Drops the knight back. Smart not to push. We know he can't push. Oh, and he drops back. Drops back. Huh. Okay, this may not be good because the knight gets to come in here. But this would be so tempting to me. Because even here, I don't care. You still get to check first. Golly gee willikers, that still look good. But this is looking good for white also. I don't know what he's doing there, but oh, he's going to get back to a square. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. We'll give him applause for that. He's going to get back to the square. And now he's got that pawn. Nice. 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 Now he can, no he can't. No he can't. No he can't. Oh, but he's got that pawn. Yeah, there you go. There you go. He's cleaning up. He's far ahead now. Looking good. And yep, did use the queen. Checkmate. All right. Not bad. All right. So white is definitely looking the aggressor, but how does he finish him off? He's got to find a way to finish him off. Needs more pieces, right? It reminds you of the last game we just saw. So I think maybe castle queenside, and so in 2 moves you get double rooks over here. 2 moves you can get double rooks over here, guys. I think I like that better than messing with the queen. Wow, I feel like he might be listening. Oh. Jazzy does follow the stream though. Oh, okay. We're going to do a Discord session with Bit to go over the game. So I'm going to have to try out Discord after this tournament. Cool. So Bitquodero is going to go over the game with me that we played today. Mostly I'm going to do like last time we had a guest. I'm going to let him tell us what he's thinking and what he saw. Because I can always, you guys get tired of hearing me. It's always nice to have another viewpoint. And I'm always very curious to hear how my opponent was seeing the game. All right, King, have a good night. Get some sleep, my friend. Get some sleep. Hey, Linear, thanks for showing up. I think I already gave you, oh, you know what? I never finished giving Ratchet a shout out. But yeah, glad you could make it, Linear. Thanks for showing up. Now that's interesting. So if he takes here, I guess he's going to have to take here with check, and then he can win the rook, right? And what if he takes here? I guess you just take the rook. I guess you take the rook. I hope you take the rook, because otherwise I think you're giving away material, right? You can't take the queen. So here you got to take the rook. I don't know if he thought this out too hard. Yep. And I like it because this knight still has no place to go for a discovered attack on this knight, and the knight still gets to come back to this juicy, beautiful square. Ready to trade off queens. Now it's kind of forced. You don't have to, I guess. I guess you could come here. Think it's kind of risque, but you can. You could come here. But why not just trade? You're up, I believe, right? You're looking healthy. You're up. You can also push. Pushing even looks more enticing. Take. The knight, again, doesn't have any really good squares. You're going to have an open file for your rook. Wow, golly gee, I really like that. I really like that. I really like that. I know what you mean. I work when you're streaming. But I was able to lurk today. Is that what Yasa Saddle One says? So when I was young, Yasser, Saruman, Maxim, Dudley, these were the guys coming up that were exciting to watch, and they were the next champs, hopefully. Yeah. Yep. Well, at least he is taking his time and thinking about it, trying to decide. Hopefully he's not waiting till I tell him what to do. There you go. Yeah, so you like, if we're talking about personalities, right? We know that you like Maurice Ashley. By the way, my brother got to meet him in person at a talk he gave. So yeah, I think the pawn would have been much more exciting. But anyway, you like Maurice Ashley. Now we know that you also like Yasser Seirawan. Good choices. All right, pawn is protected. I think it's time to get the rook onto an open file. There's only one totally open file. By the way, this pawn wants to be pushed eventually also. That pawn has great potential for the future. I'm not crazy about this only because he's going to double up your pawns. I would have been much happier first to take over the open file or even go to this file so that after he takes, you're in a better position. But I don't like it because it's going to double up the pawns. I didn't see any reason to double up your pawns yet. There was no rush. Plus the knight kept the bishop from even trying to get into the game. And there's no way to attack this knight except for the rook move eventually. Eventually. So I don't like doubling up the pawns. The bishop's holding it. Don't need it. You got this pawn. This is a passed pawn. Granted, it'll be a passed pawn here, but it'll be a doubled pawn. So just not as excited about it. Ah, yeah, there you go. I'll agree with that. I kind of think I feel that way because every time I'm doing chess and thinking about chess, and I don't know, I get excited. I get rejuvenated. I've had one stream where I was totally just tired. I was like, I have no energy, guys. I have no energy. Don't even know if I want to stream tonight. And then I looked at somebody's game and was helping them. And soon, you know what? It's teaching for me. Chess is yes. Chess, I get invigorated. I love chess. But teaching, to me, is even better. Teaching is important to me. It's just what I love. So I like here. It's the pawn. This pawn is protected. But I like it that he's no longer allowing him to double his pawns, at least. This is almost forced. I mean, the other choice is to come back here. Right? These are only two squares that he has. Okay. He could do that too. I mean, it is open, but he could have done that without moving his knight. Right? He could have just done that without moving the knight. Now he could do this, getting the knight out, but the knight has a nice square to go to. And so we're back to being stymied. And if this knight moves, this pawn is under attack. Don't like what we're getting going here, guys. I liked it better the way it was. Sometimes you should just leave things alone. Alright, you can't come here and get a double attack here. Yeah, see, this I don't like. I like the knight much better. Attack the rook and the pawn. The rook only has a few choices, and he would have won the pawn. He would have just won the pawn. But now he's enticed the knight to move. You get a discovered attack. He needs to protect this pawn. Easiest way is to push it. Easiest way to protect it is to push it. And this was the weak pawn. He had the fork, guys. He had the double attack. And by the way, to me, that is still, this is an alignment. It's that these two are aligned in such a way that a knight can hit them both. Right? So that's an alignment issue to me also. It's a little obscure for alignment, not a straight line of some kind, but it's still alignment. And he gave away the pawn. Yeah, I'm not overly excited about what I'm seeing happening. He's dropping pawns, and that is definitely what black should be doing, is getting rid of the pawns. Because he's down, is he down even? Two knights? No, he's equal. He's down pawns. But see, now he's dropped the nut. He's just dropping pawns, guys. They're dropping. But now he gets a piece back if he sees it. Quick combination. It's only a 2-move combination. Check. Takes. Knight takes. Check. Wins the bishop. Wins the bishop. And he takes here first. What is he doing? What is he doing? He just gave away a candy. He just gave away his knight. Yeah, but you can't even get him out. You don't have a dark squared bishop. And now the bishop's at risk. Why? Right idea, wrong order. Oh, now he just takes. He takes back, and then you just take. And he's up a whole piece. Black's up a whole piece, guys, against 2 passed pawns. Okay, I don't know what's going on half the time, and it's continuing. That was the piece he had to take off the pawn with. Why is he moving it? What does this do for him? What am I missing? What am I missing? That doesn't do anything. You could take here now, he takes back, and then you could take that pawn? Okay. I'd much rather have gotten rid of that pawn. No, we're still checking. Okay. Okay, guys. Alright. It's going to go back, right? I mean, he doesn't really have many choices. Oh, and Jazz Smith is going to lose on time. He loses on time, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh, that hurts. And he was winning. Maybe that's why he made those mistakes earlier. Maybe he missed this move because he was down on time. I'd have to see how much time he had at that time. All right, let's see what games we have lined up. Nothing yet. Waiting. Yeah, you can't, blockades. Die blockade. Die blockade. Well, with 35 minutes left, they should get at least one more game in. I'm going to throw Discord on and just see if I can get that set up. Hopefully it won't destroy my, create gigantic lags and problems in that area. Let me find out. He did message me with his information. Okay, let me check it out on my phone. Alright, I need to see if I can friend somebody. Oh my goodness, that doesn't, how do I, okay, add friend, there we go. I'm not the best at Discord, but I'm trying, guys, I'm trying. Alright, so I sent him a friend request. So far it's not messing up. So hopefully we'll be able to do verbal together. Oh, we got a game, guys. Got a game. And it's Murph again. Go Murph! Come on, Murph! Got a cheer for my student. Long-standing student. Very good person. Very good student. Very, very good. Love working with him. Love working with him. One of the best guys to work with as a student. That was a crazy game through overall. Yeah, I agree. And yes, definitely winning the opening does not mean you win the game. Right? So that's another thing. But a lot of players, we were talking about this linear store, a lot of players, because they've been playing just blitz and rapid and bullet, they win in the opening. They checkmate in the opening. They don't even know what an end game is. Half of them don't even know what a middle game is. Most of them never had to make a plan in the middle game. Most of them never have to make a plan in the middle game. And they're going to go play over the board and think that's the way it is. And it's not going to be that way at all. Because players have a lot of time. They're not going to fall for traps in the opening. and they don't have to even know openings. They just don't have to fall for the traps in the openings, so they don't lose right away, and then the players won't know what to do. And even my students who understand basic end games, we need to work more. I don't think they know end games as well as I'd like them to, but they know basic end games. My students, they could play most of their games online and just get to the, as long as they could get to the middle game, they're winning. Because even if they're down material, their opponent doesn't know what to do, doesn't know how to finish the game. And they end up having a large advantage, and they know how to finish the game. So, yeah, it's important, right? It's a critical factor. And I'm shocked how many people don't know the end game, and I'm even more shocked maybe about how poorly people that all they know is the opening. And they watch all these IMs, and they watch all these YouTube videos, and they watch, hey, win with this, win with that. How many people have been playing the Stafford Gambit, and they don't even know basic chess principles, but they're playing the Stafford Gambit, or they're playing the fried liver, right? So, and then even when you do it on the computer to study, which, by the way, that's where I do like a computer, but, you know, Lichess has a good enough one. You go ahead and you go on there and you look, and what does it have? A lot of puzzles. And what do puzzles do? They help you, but they don't help you understand how to make a plan. Most of the puzzles everybody does is just tactics. Now, you can get extremely far with just tactics. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be doing tactics. Tactics are awesome. People should be studying tactics all the time. Yes, yes, yes. But when you get lazy and all you think everything is a tactic, and you don't understand any of the positional considerations, you don't understand pawn structures, good and bad, you're going to lose games. So when I play anyone that's even 2,000 or less, back to King's question, even though he had to go to bed, you know, when I play somebody 2,000 or less, I can basically just play quiet opening and get to the middle game and know I'm going to have an advantage. I'm going to have a large advantage because they won't know how to play the middle game, and on their part, you know, forbid that we ever get to an end game, because they will totally have no clue, and I'll be able to win the end game. So that's the problem with people not studying the whole game and only looking at one portion of the game instead of learning good chess, right? There are very clear principles that they could be learning and should be learning, but they don't, and they just play, and they enjoy it though. They're having a good time. I can't talk bad about it. Can't talk bad about the TV show The Queen's Gambit. I can't talk bad about the influx and PogChamps and all the rest, because as a chess lover and a chess player and a chess teacher and a chess coach and a chess director, this is like this, except for the Bobby Fischer boom in 1970s, I haven't seen anything like this. This is crazy. How many people, just look on Twitch, how many people are watching people play chess? They're not even playing half the time, they're watching people play chess. It's crazy. I mean, I like watching, I'll watch Nakamura, even though it's hard to keep up with him. But it's fun to watch him. I'm not even playing something, I'm just watching him. Right? I mean, it's amazing the popularity right now for chess, and I hope it gets leveraged so that we have more chess players, get more people involved, maybe get a world champion from the United States again. We've technically only had one. You can count Paul Morphy. I like to, so feel free to count Paul Morphy amongst those professionals. Let's see if I can turn off my fan. Oh, that's my light. My fan is making weird noise. Tick, tick, tick. Alright, so I got Discord set up, and so far it's not bad. I'm not having any problems. He hasn't accepted my friend request yet, but we still have 28 minutes before he's going to come back. So he said he'd be happy to do it on Discord with me. So we'll get him mic'd up, right? We'll get him mic'd up, guys. I think that'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be nice. Well, hopefully, you know, like the Fischer boom, what happens is sometimes they start off strong and really excited and they play a lot, but then sometimes they just lose interest, right? So we have to hope that they continue with their chess journey. I mean, Queen's Gambit, who knew that would attract so many people to playing chess. People who had never ever played before, and people that have played but haven't played in years are coming back. I mean, that's, again, I love the Queen's Gambit for that. I wish the other movie, the best chess movie in my opinion of almost all time, I wish Searching for Bobby Fischer had the same effect. Yep, that was a discovered attack that he, for some reason, doesn't want to trade off the bishop. I have no idea why. I have no idea why he refused to trade off the bishop for the other bishop, except for maybe he's hoping to get this attack. But while he's here, you know, it's going to be slow going to get there. But it's probably going to be how the game ends, right? You watch. So I'd like to see this and then take a shot at the center. But who knows? Yeah, well, that's how we got people interested, though, right? Through the movie and then through watching PogChamps, and here we go. But this is where back to basics. I told Murph he needs to put his rooks on the open files. Didn't do so. Didn't put the rook on the open file. Still don't see the rook on the open file. Now we have more alignment issues. I still need a rook on the open file. He does not have to worry about this yet, but he will get another piece attacking him quite shortly. Now that's giving away checkmate. I have no clue what that move was. This is the second game now I've watched him miss the threat on the same pawn. The h7 pawn was attacked the last game he played with a bishop and a knight. Remember? Bishop and a knight were attacking. He ignored it, or missed it. And here, same thing, two pieces. What is the queen doing here? The queen went from here to here. How did that position change, guys? This is the only change, right? Queen went to here. He now can attack this. So this is the only thing he's here for. There's nothing over here. This is the only attack he has. It is a check. It is a capture. It is a threat. Everything Levy Rosman would tell you to look for. Check, capture, and attack. Check, captures, and threats. Or check, captures, and attacks and threats. It's all of them. It's a check. It's a capture. It's an attack. It's a threat. And instead of dealing with this threat, Murph moved his second defender, but moved his defender away. So again, if he had went here, knight could have went here, knight could have come here, and he would have had both knights, and he would have been building a nice little fortress of power, and he would have had this attempts here. But instead of taking over the semi-open file, instead of leaving the knight to protect the king, he walked into a checkmate. So, easy learning. Easy learning. Easy one to teach. Alright, we have another game. Oh, this game looks a lot like it, except the queen in the back. So the battery is, again, when you're trying to checkmate, it's better to have the queen in front. But of course, that's not always easy to do. So let's see how we got here. Now the Queen's Gambit declined. So far, the Queen's Gambit declined. Yeah, and that's about the same time that, people were talking about the Queen's Gambit TV show. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's great. Your wife wants to learn. Did you teach her? Are you teaching her? She's still learning? Does she play? So we're gonna utilize, we're using the internet in two ways for this class because I have a virtual version of the class. Epiphany is going to be teaching that one. She's Marichess on Twitch. I'll give her a little shout out there for you guys. I don't recommend her for my kids, for youngsters, because she sometimes is not, she has language and drinking and other fun stuff. It's good for adults for her stream. But for teaching, she's going to be awesome, I think. I think the kids are going to love her. So she's going to teach the virtual class, and I'm going to be teaching the in-person class, like I have for about the last 5 years. And so that starts tomorrow for me is the in-person class. So I will be getting back into the rhythm of teaching basics and teaching chess. And I will be bringing a lot of those basics and teachings back to the stream, as I did starting in January. But as you guys that have been with me know, when it came time in, so now we only have one square to try to keep the bishop, right? When it came time for me to get involved with the summer, when the summer came, I took a break from teaching, and this is just bad. That just loses a bishop for a pawn. When I took a break from teaching for the summer in real life, I kind of like just took a break also from teaching on the stream as much. I still taught, but not as much. So I'm hoping to get back to teaching. Now, I've got to, and just like my class, when I teach my class, I have some more advanced students and I have some beginner students. And so I'm going to have to find a way to balance it so that everyone is welcomed, right? Everybody, no one's bored. No one's like, oh, this is terrible. So I got to make it so everyone gets something out of it. And I'm going to do the same thing with the stream. So with the stream, I have to make sure that everybody gets something out of it. I'm going to have to be able to do both the basics for the beginners, but then push the stronger players to push themselves and learn more. So we'll do both, guys. We'll do both. We'll manage it. We've done it before, and we'll do it again. All right. Not crazy about any of this right now for white. White just gave away a piece for a pawn when he could have put the queen back here, and he would have been fine. If he takes, he just takes back, and there's no loss. But he sacked the bishop for a pawn. Now, black can't afford to get behind on the clock too much, but other than that, he should be fine. Yep, and that's the only game we got going right now. All right. Hey, Bit, if you're back, let me know. I did send you a Discord invite. Still have 20 minutes before you might be coming back, so I can understand if you're not here yet. So again, what am I looking for from beginners? I'm looking primarily for beginners to find alignment options. Alignment options are the key for beginners, right? So right now this just goes back. The pawn isn't fully poisoned. You can even take that one, but then you lose this one, and you're going to have issues. You could also, if the queen takes, you could try to trap the queen, but it does have this square to go to. But fun things could happen with your, well, actually if your knight's here, he can't take there. So if you drop back here and he takes, and you come here, this is like his only square. That's his only square, guys. That should be scary. And in fact, it should lose, because then the rook comes here and wins the queen. So this is a definite poison pawn, right? Here, only square, here, loses the queen. You're going to have to give up the queen for a rook. Wow. She's taking a game or two off of you already? And she only plays you? Oh, that's a shame. See, that's one of the ways the internet is quite useful. You can get her a lot of fun games. She could play a lot of people. Right? I mean, it's just a nice way to find people to play. Okay, so that should drop the queen. Everything else is protected multiple times. Black should win the queen. Now, will black see it? Here, I mean, that should be an easy move to find. Queen goes here, and he might say, oh, I get a free pawn, instead of saying, oh, I get a queen. The queen has no squares afterwards, guys. No squares. Dave should win the queen. She's not a fan of people. Sounds like my mom. My mom hated people. So they were, yeah, never mind. Yeah, but, okay, so here wins the queen. Here wins the pawn. Let's go for the queen, right? Queen is better than a pawn. This does not work, guys. It just takes the knight. But, yeah, here, that's just a free queen. Not a free queen, a queen for probably a rook. Oh, my gosh. Guys, it hurts. It hurts so bad. But that's why. You were asking about difference between 12 and 14s. Well, here, a 1200 didn't see that the queen was going to be trapped. Here, the 1400 didn't find how to win the queen and, in fact, dropped the piece. Just drop the piece. Had the free queen and instead loses a piece. Yeah, that is a true statement. The online community can be jerks, right? There's trolls, there's idiots out there, there's people that you don't want to even be associated with. So it does happen. Totally understand, and it's a shame. It's a shame. So I really like our community. I like the people that I hang out with on stream. You guys are clean. I'm clean. I don't like cursing. I'm not going to do drinking on. I don't drink anyway, but I would not. I would not. Even if I drank, I would never think that was something stream worthy. Let me show you me getting drunk on stream, right? I would never do that. It's just, to me, I would never do that. I don't care if other people do it. I wouldn't do it. I'm not lambasting them. I'm not lambasting people who use language. But I don't do it because I want my kids to be able to watch my stream. I want my wife and my mom and my dad and my family to watch my stream. And I want the kids I teach, who a lot of them are 8 or 9 years old, I want them to watch my stream. And I can't do any of those things if I'm going to be cursing. So I do like the thread here, and you end up getting 2 pieces for the rook and a nice little fork, but the fork doesn't matter because the rook can come over and protect. But I do like the threat of winning 2 pieces for the rook, especially since you just gave away a piece for free. So then you should only be down the exchange, not the extreme, the exchange. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I tried to do well. And I need to get back to teaching, right? So one of the things that, it's funny because the way that it went was I was teaching basics until about June. I still did some in June, July. We had our big tournament, but that was in May, the Mayhem tournament, actually. So June, July, I started less lessons. I mean, I was giving specific lessons, and I'm going to do that again. I swear I am. But I did less lessons and more general teaching and just general information and sometimes just relaxing streams. But now, at the end of that, I got challenged by my good buddy Sudaku's Chess. Got to give him a shout out. And if you guys missed his tournament today, shame on you. He puts on a nice I Am Not an I Am tournament. So check him out. Check out that tournament. Sign up now. But it's on chess.com. It's the only negative. The only thing I wish he would do it on Lee Chess. I really wish he would. I mean, he's not getting that many people showing up for his I'm Not an I Am tournament. I think he should try running it on Lee Chess one of these times and see what he gets. Okay, so this still wins 2 pieces for the rook. Right? Still take, get 2 pieces for the rook. Yeah, get 2 pieces for the rook. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, it's funny. People are really, it's like DC and Marvel Comics, right? It's like people like, I won't read DC, I hate Marvel. It's like that. Lee Chess is terrible. Chess.com is the only site to play on. Chess.com, I got rid of my account. It's lousy. So it's funny how it goes back and forth. I mean, how some people are strong. Me, I'm like, I don't care. I'll play on both. But for teaching, I like Lee Chess, and I'll play on both. That's all. The only plus I like about chess.com, because I don't use it much, so I don't know I hear it's really nice for a lot of things. The thing that chess.com has is that it's the ratings are tougher to get rating points. So the ratings are closer to over the board ratings. So if you watch somebody on chess.com, you can say, I can see how good they are, right? I get a feeling for how good they are over the board, which you can't get with chess.com. I mean, with Elite Chess. You have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. Too many people, I've never heard them talking about Chess24, probably because it's just not as well known, right? And now there's roulette chess that Sudaku's chess told me about, roulettechess.org, and it might work for streaming games. So you play a player, but it has on it your video camera and your opponent's video camera and your audio. So instead of me using Zoom, I could just go to that site. I don't even have to use my webcam like I'm using now. I don't even need to use my webcam, guys. I could just supposedly go to, well, I'll still use my webcam, but I don't have to set it up. And I could just be showing the two of us playing. So we're going to test it. Unfortunately, there are like nobody out there yet. There's nobody there. I mean, he even said, "Oh, let me go look for a game," and he just looked for a random game, and nobody would play him because there's nobody out there. But I think it'll work really nice for streamers or just people that want to play somebody and actually see the person they're playing and talk to them. It might be really nice for that. So I got to check that out. Oh, Diamond and 6 months left on a paid membership. Okay. Good. You can tell us linear story, or, you know, we like stories. Might be hard to type it all out, but we like stories. Yeah, Ratchet also closed his account. So, hey King, I thought you were going to bed, man. Couldn't get to sleep. Came back. I could talk less. I could put on classical music and make you sleepy. This game is going pretty slow. It might make you sleepy. This is a sleepy type of game. I don't know. Black's gonna lose on time because he won't move. Actually, again, you know, this is the best square for the night. Always is. Still is. Don't know what he's doing out here. He has. I mean, he could have gotten there from here. These two squares aren't going to be a good square for him. So here, he has all these squares. I mean, much better square for the night. I do not understand this move, guys. I don't get it. I don't get it. Doesn't need to protect the pawn. It's protected way enough times. I don't get this move. But maybe now we'll see. Now that nothing was done about it, let's see if he has a reason, some thought process behind this choice. Because I don't get it. I don't get it. Hey, host 00312. Don't know who you are either. Although it seems like we have a lot of hosses following. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, so see, and he could have gotten here from here. So I would have rather him gone there. And or here. That would have been nice, right? But, no. Okay. So kind of like this. And then you can try to trap the rook a little bit, maybe. Although this is still going to be a problem, possibly. But he's low on time, guys. Can't take, because now the knight's hanging, because of where he got put. Could just take here. And then move here. Nah, that doesn't work. You just lose a rook. Okay, let's see if you actually did it. Most people say, long story short, after it's already too late. But let's see. You came in 37th in the first week of Arena Kings. Cool. Should have made the playoffs. Okay, after the mainstream. But didn't because I was marked as not a streamer. Were you not a streamer? I contacted support on several occasions and was told I was wrong. I was wrong, even though I had the full stream recorded as proof. Yeah, that's pretty hard to dispute, right? Hey, look, here's my recording of the stream. Oh, wow. Wow. That's sad. That's sad, my friend. All right, so Black is finding a way to fight back. He's trying to win that rook back. So this is the same story, though, right? White has a chance to get back both pieces. So he would take here, you would take here, and then you would do what with your knight? Maybe come back. Then he could take here, and he's got troubles. So I think this fork is going to end the game for Black, and he's down to 56 seconds. But White's now going to get low on time, too. Yep, didn't do anything. So that does not stop this. See, if he had just done this, but... And this doesn't work now as well because he could have moved the knight there. And yep. Lost the exchange back. And now Black's up a whole piece. Black is up a whole piece. This will be nice if Black allows it. That'll be nice if Black allows it. It's going to mess up Black's day if he allows it. And he's just allowed it. Yep, now he can't take. So now he's gonna get, he just gave back, he just gave it back, guys. What is this move? Time pressure move? Bad move? What do you call it? Because this was like, this should have been, here's our alignment again. Here is our alignment once again. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you, and I'm telling you, it's all about alignment. It always is about alignment. There you go. Find a way to fight back. I do like that. I was looking at that. I didn't want to say anything at the time. I think he could just get this check in though, and then he still loses the bishop. But it was worth the shot, right? I mean, it's you're fighting back. You're fighting back. You're finding ways to hopefully complicate the position and fight back. So that was good. He fought back. But now you still lose it. He takes back. Hopefully he takes back. What? This is just bad, guys. This is a queen coming. I know you're under time pressure, but you got to take the pawn. You got to take the pawn. And then you have both. You have this pawn would still be under attack. Let's see. So, okay. So, see, I told you it's hard to do a long story short because you're still telling the story. No offense, Linear Stork, but I was right. No one, when they say long story short, it's never true. It's not true. It's never true. Here's the fun part. You could come here and say, oh, I'm threatening mate. Yeah, and you could just queen and say, okay. So, again, trying to threaten mate, you could just queen. You could just queen. And then he's protected. Oh, that's so sad. Oh my gosh. Why are you giving away? Why? Why? Why even give him? Why even give him that? Now black should just take here and make white have to find all the right moves. Now he still queens. Oh my gosh. Why didn't he do that last move? Why in the world didn't he do that last move? And he would have protected the rook. Anyway, let me get back to you. Long story short, that is not. Oh, we got checkmate. Let's see. Yep, there we go. All right, guys. 5 minutes left in the tournament. I don't expect another game. King's Knights Marion is in first place by tie breaks. 2 of them are tied with 4 points. Dave Reyes and Linear and Knights Mary. And the 2 of them are going to be playing right now, but they only have 5 minutes for the tournament to finish, so I don't think they're going to get it done. I just don't anticipate they're getting it done. And it looks like white is in no rush to get it done. White is in first place, so it looks like white's going to play slow and let the clock run out. Yeah, well. Anyway, let's get back to your long story that's not short. I was ready to forgive and only play. Okay, after 2 weeks, they finally realized their mistake and paid you. So you made money in the... you don't have to tell me about that. I've never tried it. See, that's something that Sudakas should do. Because that's on chess.com, right? You have to be a streamer. And only streamers can win money, I believe. And it's pretty cool because you don't get matched up against grandmasters. It kind of matches you against players of your own strength. And all you have to do is place, right? And you get money. So you would have made... How much money would you have made? Do you mind sharing? How much money... And you said they paid you. So how much money did you get for coming in... What place did you say? 34th or something? 37th? How much money did you make for coming in 37th? So you were ready to forgive and only play there for Arena Kings moving forward, especially with your diamond account. But then I found out they didn't tell the guy who was given my prize he was no longer being paid or getting his points. So he got stuck chasing down their support. All of that, plus all of the other stuff, I do not agree with when it comes to their company and policies. I can no longer support the site and took my action. The only remnants of me now is my name on a leaderboard. Haha. The sad thing is that is the condensed version. Oh, okay. Okay, I get it. Wow. Okay. I need to make a new sound effect for laughter. I need a laughter. I need to find me a laughter, guys. I need a laughter really bad because I don't have one. Oh man. So you won the under 1400 prize and $100 for just playing online. Oh, okay. And then they gave you $150 to make up for the fact that you didn't get into the playoffs, and it took you so long that the players were already gone. Not bad. So again, we're back to a difference. Chess.com making money, and to make money sometimes, they give away money. Elite Chess, not about making money. It's a non-profit, so you don't make any money playing on Elite Chess, right? You can win all the arenas. You could be the best player on there. You could be at the top of the leaderboard. I don't think you get anything. But yeah, chess.com, you made $150 playing in one arena tournament. Not bad. And your first one. And that wasn't enough. I like it. You're a man of principle. You said, nope, I don't like your policies. I don't like the way you guys do business. I'm out. I gotta say, I like that. Kudos to you. I like a man with principles. That's good on you. I'm glad you have principles, my friend. Excellent. Well, you didn't give your word about anything, but you're a man of principles. See, you're more than a man of your word. You are more than a man of your word. You're a man of principles. And I like to think I'm a chess player of principles because I teach by principles. I don't teach openings. I teach opening principles. I don't teach traps and tricks, even though I sometimes will share those with people. I teach principles. So I like to believe I am a chess player of principles. I like that. So I'm a man of principles. I'm gonna be a chess player of principles. I'm liking this. I'm gonna steal stuff from you all day, Linear. I'm gonna steal stuff. I like your PTOW. I've got to, let me make a note of that because I'm gonna forget, and I have to make the blah 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 the bot. And that way people can type in POTW and it will tell them what the principle of the week is. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. Hey, mine too. Mine too. I try to share and give as much as I can get. As much as I take, I want to give more. So one of the things, I don't know if you know Linear Stork, I don't know if you care, I like it. But if you notice, my board has the clock at the top and the bottom. And now it's due to, and I like giving credit where it's due, by the way. Chess Wizard showed me where you can get an extension for Lead Chess for streamers. It's for streamers, and it puts the name, the rating, and the time on the board like this, so that I used to put my clock up here, where now I can put things like this. Or I just save it for open space for other things. But yeah, you can, it works pretty well. I like it. I've been using it and I like it. All right, time's up for the tournament. So I want to get set up for, if my opponent comes back, I hope he does. So I'd like to be prepared for him when he does. His name is Bitdo Quiero. So I'm hoping he shows up, in which case I will go and take our study. Actually, I've already got the study. Yeah, I know. I've seen it. And that's the way I did it. That was the way I did it. This takes one less capture, which probably saves on memory, by the way. So I get one less capture, and so let's get this game here. So I get one less capture, which I'm hoping saves on memory from the board. And I'm going to open up a new study. It's already in LoneWolf. Well, I want to allow, let me stop that. Let's just go to the study. Let me go to my LoneWolf study, and let me invite another member. Okay, I must be spelling his name wrong. Bitdo, yes, I am spelling it wrong. And there he is. We'll make him a contributor, of course, so that way he can also move the pieces and we could talk through the game. Hey, you made it! All right, I sent you a friend request on Discord. Well, Linear, I will. Can you remind me? I will, or whisper me your email. I will send you the instructions on how to set it up the way. Just the board with the clocks. I don't mean everything else. Do whatever you want, of course. But I'll send you the instructions on how to do that. Yeah, let's do an audio chat. Okay, I see that I have a note on Discord. So hopefully that means I have a direct... There you go. All right, now... Hey, I'll wave to you. So somewhere in here, we can do, I think I can, oh, there you go. You did it. All right. I said, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Let me stop the music so we can hear you. How you doing?
Doing good.
I like your, I like your avatar.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So I usually when I have guests on my stream, I do like to ask them one or two interview type questions if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So how did you get started playing chess, and how long have you been doing it?
My grandfather taught me when I was about 3, actually, but I wasn't very good.
Yeah, I don't know how many 3-year-olds are really good.
Right.
All right, and then
I played pretty seriously up through high school. Not pretty seriously, but like, you know, a little bit. I was in the chess club and stuff.
Okay. And then what got you into playing more now? Because, I mean, you're playing in the LoneWolf League, right?
Yeah. And I'm an alternate in 45-45, and I'm playing the Infinite Quest and a few other things.
Is Infinite Quest a chess tournament?
Yeah, it's actually along with the same Slack group as...
Okay. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Format. So it's games are 15 plus 10.
So I told the guys that, oh, it's 15 plus 10. I might have to, so that's called Infinite something?
Infinite Quest, I think.
I'll have to look into it. I'm playing 30 plus 30 in the Lone Wolf. A good friend of mine has been playing in the 45 League for a while. And, he's like, oh, you should play. And I'm like, I don't have time. But I want to get serious again because I'm looking at playing over the board tournaments again, and playing Blitz and playing Rapid online and streaming at the same time. It's not serious chess. It's not helping me. So I thought maybe the Lone Wolf would get me there. And so far I've been very happy with the Lone Wolf because it's slow enough and it makes me take the time to think and get back to what I should be doing over the board. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying really hard.
Yeah, I found the level of people in the Lone Wolf to be really terrific, actually.
Yeah, and they seem very friendly. I haven't run into anybody yet that's been rude or, I wouldn't want to talk to afterwards type thing. I did invite you to a study.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, you're there. Okay. So these are all the games I've played, plus one that's not a Lone Wolf game. That's why there's 5. One of them is I played against 3 of my students, but it was a 30 plus 30 game, so I put it in here also.
Great.
So my chat normally hears me talk all the time. They just heard me talk for the last hour and a half. I'm excited to hear how you thought during the game, what you were doing. I'm happy to share with you my thoughts also, but mostly I want to hear more from you than me. It's nice for them to hear a different voice.
Yeah, that sounds good. Do you want to... Can you control the board? Like, click us through?
Actually...
I'll talk about my thoughts as we go.
Actually, the beauty of Lichess, in a study, I've given you edit rights, so you can draw arrows. Try it out if you like. You can move the pieces. So we can both go, oh, well, I was thinking this, and we can move things around. And you could change the orientation to be white at the top or black at the, whichever way you want it. But yeah, you can actually move the pieces yourself. You don't even need me to do it.
Great. All right, so I'm an E4 player.
Yeah! Let me give you some applause for that, because I love E4 myself. Don't always get to play.
in our prep for the game, I saw that you play the French defense, so I actually also played that as black against you.
Oh, do you? A French player? Yes.
Yeah.
Even better.
So I looked through the variations in your repertoire.
Okay.
And and one thing I noticed is that there was this line in the winnower that I thought I could get an advantage to by playing.
Okay. Go ahead and show me.
Which would have been if you had played bishop to d4 here.
Yeah.
That's the winnower variation. That's not what happened in the game.
Right.
But then I was planning to advance, and then you advance, and then I attack your bishop. And I've seen that in a lot of games, you actually take this pawn. And
yes, I do. It's a pet bad line of mine.
Yeah.
It's a line. It's a line I kind of made up, and so I play it. I play it quite frequently because it's like, it's when you find a line that you think it's playable, and you don't see it anyplace else, and you feel like, hey, it's my line. You want to play it, right? Even if it's not the best.
So I'd actually prepared to enter this line against you.
Okay.
Even though you've played 9 or so games that I could find in it. And I was ready to play Queen G4, and then we'd have a game.
Yes. Yes.
But
and I think here a lot of times I think I would have, I think I would go here first.
Yep. And I would have
taken, right?
captured, of course.
And then usually, I mean, I've done this, but I don't like it. But I mean, I could do that. But yeah, I usually would go here, and we'd go here, and this would be the rest of the game, right? We'd have to see how it went. But yeah, we would, like you say, we'd be playing the game at this point. So that is, and I know this is not the best variation of taking. So when I'm playing over the board, and I'm playing this, I rarely play that. Because I know it's not the best line. It's a fun line. I like trying it, but I know it's not the best answer. So a lot of times I'll play here, I'll play here. And funny that you said all this, because I looked at your games and I said, I looked at the last 5 classical. I didn't look at all your games, rapid games and everything else. I just wanted to see what you kind of play in classical. And I saw that you do play the French, and that you do play this, and also that you play the advanced.
Yeah, I usually do.
Yeah, I usually saw the advanced, and so I made my plans that, he's going to play the advanced. I feel comfortable. It's not like it's bad for you. It's just that I don't feel uncomfortable playing it. But when you played this, I was like, okay. Well, I could play the winnower, which is what I normally play, or I can play what I played the very last time I played in LoneWolf. So I don't know if you saw that, but my last LoneWolf game is black. Yeah, I played this variation. And it's just, I enjoyed playing it that game. I don't normally play this variation. And I thought, it's a solid variation. I'll just play a solid variation. Again, I said I'll try it a second time.
Yeah, so I knew that this was, of course, possible, that you would go into this. I think this is the Steinitz variation.
I don't even remember the name. I guess if we turned on the opening database, it would tell us what it's... so far, it's called the classical, so far.
Oh, I see. Maybe it's after I pushed this pawn. So in the game, I knew this was possible, of course, and I was planning to play e5. And after that,
and now you have your Steinitz.
I was going to figure it out, because, I'm a French player. I know how to play against a similar position. Because if White opens the game, I'm going to back it up a little bit.
Sure.
If White opens the game in the Tarrasch, when I'm playing as black, I play knight f6 here.
Okay.
And then they usually push the pawn, and I back up, and then we maneuver a bit and build up a big pawn center.
Okay.
So I was expecting to sort of do a similar thing. And then in our actual game, the big difference, of course, is that the knight's on c3.
Yes, blocking your c pawn.
Instead of d2, right. But the bright side is that my knight's not on d2, so it's a little bit more centrally placed.
Yep, and you're not blocking in your dark squared bishop.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's very good. I like your thinking. I will say, I don't think anyone else so far has spent as much time as I did looking at what games people played, and I didn't spend that much time. And you spent more time than I did, so that's cool. I was wondering if people actually think about what they want to play based on their opponent.
Yeah. Yeah, so we get into this F4 line, which is very standard stuff. You counterattack C5, I defend it, you bring out your other knight. And here is where I think I made my first mistake. In the game, I played knight E2
Yeah.
to reinforce the pawn and to enable me to play C3 on the next move. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was surprised by that move because I was like, well, you moved the knight, just basic principle because I teach basics all the time. And so I was like, well, he moved the knight twice. He's blocking his bishop. He's not going to castle any sooner because of it. And it felt like that you were doing it to be able to play C3. And then I was just trying to decide, do I want to allow C3 or do I want to trade first and weaken your end of your pawn chain? It was the two choices. I mean, your knight gets to probably reposition over to G3, right? If I allow C3.
Yeah, that's one option. We could have also transposed into a line from the Tarrasch if you had played like Queen B6.
Okay.
Then I play C3, and this is actually just a totally standard position.
Gotcha.
And I would have been back in my comfort zone.
Okay.
So that's sort of what I was hoping for. And the problem with that is that it let you like take on D4. And then I have like a sort of permanent weakness, which is that I have this sort of like hole in my structure a little bit where I have to invest a lot of resources defending this square to blockade your pawn to keep you from, eventually pushing it down the board or something.
Right.
Plus, if I give up too much control of that part of the center, then the other pawns that I've advanced so far, like the pawn on E5, might fall, and that could be bad for me. So here I was regretting my choices. I wish I had prepared more against this particular line.
Okay.
But I thought, we'll have a game. And you played A6.
Mm-hmm. Kind of, I think it's thematic, keeping pieces off of.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's like, I don't want to help you develop your bishop. I don't want your knight to try to threaten any hops into places where I don't want it.
Yeah, that makes sense. The B5 square is often sensitive for sure. I do think it would have been a mistake for me to play B5 immediately.
The knight to B5, you mean?
Perhaps not. I meant bishop B5.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like if you didn't play A6 and I don't know, you played bishop E7 or something, then I think bishop here right now wouldn't have been the strongest. Because if I take your knight on C6, you can just recapture with the pawn, and you're actually, potentially happy about that. You have to defend something. You have to add a queen or something in the mix to not lose the pawn. But
right.
I think it helps your structure because it lets you get that pawn on C6 and then get it to C5, and then you've got a lot of central control.
Yep.
And I can't really challenge it very easily.
Yep. True.
So the move A6 struck me as like a little bit
unnecessary, or
unnecessary. But fine. Not like I can do anything to punish it right away. And this is because the center's closed. I know it's going to be kind of a slow game.
Yep.
So I decided to just reinforce my center with C3. And I think I'm pretty happy with this move. I also had some ideas about playing Queen A4 in the future, which can be a little bit tricky to deal with because you might think that you can just push the queen back. Again, suppose it's White's move here. You might think you could push the queen back with B5, but actually there's this pin on the A file, which you have to worry about.
Yep, which is what we talk a lot about is alignment. That rook is unprotected.
Exactly.
Yep, can't do that. You just drop a pawn. Agreed.
Right.
Yep.
So that was one plus of the move C3. It opens up that light square diagonal. And
Yep.
then, of course, it defends d4.
Yep.
Now, at this point, I would have been thrilled if you'd recaptured my knight.
Yeah.
Then I just recapture with the pawn, I build my beautiful big center, got a lot of space, and I go attack you somewhere.
Yes. Yes.
So, of course, you don't do that, and you bring out the queen, and this is also a little bit tricky to deal with because it not only adds pressure to the center, whoa, that's a silly arrow, that's not what I meant to do, but it also attacks this b2 pawn, which means my bishop gets tied down a little bit.
Yep.
To add on to that, I haven't castled yet, so I know that moves like bishop c5 are coming, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
And that might make it quite difficult for me to get castled because that's going to be lined up. There's going to be an alignment issue along the g1 to a7 diagonal.
Agreed. So
that was my thought process at this point. And so I decided to push b4.
Okay.
And the computer doesn't like this move very much. It's not terrible. It's not a blunder. But
right.
It's probably what I should do instead is figure out how to defend b2 some other way, like maybe queen to c2.
Yeah, I like queen to c2 for you.
And then bringing out my dark squared bishop. So a potentially better plan for white is maybe to just do this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually only necessary because I didn't already bring out my dark squared bishop. If I had just done that earlier and defended d4 from here,
yep,
it would have been a pretty good situation for me, I think. Okay, so then you backed up your knight from d7 to b8.
So this one for me was a weird move.
Yeah.
I was taking notes not in the game because I didn't know how to do it right. So I took it on a Word document on the side, and I was like, I'm toying with the idea of doing this because I want to take and then replace the knight because you can't take back with the pawn now. Now that you've done this, I'm thinking, well, if I take, you can't take back with the pawn to have your beautiful pawn center because you dropped this pawn. Right, so that knight's liable now for taking, and you would have to take back with the knight or the queen. And if you take back with one of those, I want to be able to put my knight here because, again, with you, I'd be happy if you took my knight and bring my pawn out. I thought that this move was, I did not expect this move, and I thought, okay, so now I have to find a way to try to take advantage of this backward pawn. For long-term weakness if I can, and I'm not happy that my pieces are undeveloped, but yeah, my simple idea was I need to move the knight. I want to get the bishop in the game. I want to finish developing. I'm thinking I got to get rid of this one, and I'd rather have a knight on c6. So I thought, I'm going to undevelop this knight. I mean, it went from here to here to here, now to here, just to come back here and make believe he was the knight that was in b8 to begin with. But yeah, so it was a strange move. Don't think it was a great move. I don't know what the computer thinks. I don't usually look at the computer until much later just to see if I missed anything really obvious. But yeah, that was my weird thinking at the time. And it's weird how our brains work sometimes. But I was thinking, yep, I know I'm going to trade. And then I only started thinking after I did it, well, what happens if he just goes away? And I was like, I don't know.
I actually never considered. Oh, actually, no. You know what? I did consider knight to b3 at this moment.
Okay.
Let me think if I can remember why exactly I didn't play it. So, I think the thing I don't love about moving this knight right now is just the fact that the queen is the thing going to be eyeing up my my king side.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping. So it's hard for me to try arrows. But,
I was hoping this pressure would bother you enough that's why I put the queen here. I thought, that's a nice diagonal. Let's see if I can keep pressure. So yeah, this surprised me. I said, okay, I'm going to try this, especially now that this is here and this is a weakness, and you can't take back with the pawn, so it's going to stay a weakness. I get to get rid of the knight, so that knight would be no longer here in the way. I can develop the bishop and get my rook over here finally. Like you said, it was slow development. So that was my thinking.
The b4 idea came from some games that I've played in the advanced variation.
Okay.
And this of course has a very similar structure because I did push e5.
Right.
Where if you find the right moment to capture on c5, and then black recaptures the bishop, then you can start this sort of queenside pawn storm with tempo. You push b4 and you push a4 or b5 or a5, and you sort of gain a lot of space over there. And part of the reason I felt optimistic about this is because you had lost some time maneuvering this other knight.
Yep.
And now you've lost even more time, and I was feeling pretty good about the plan.
Yeah, I got 2 pieces developed.
Right.
And one of them is the queen.
I only have 2 pieces developed also.
Yeah, but one of mine is the queen, and both your bishops are ready to be out on the board.
Yeah, that's true.
And both of my bishops are trapped behind my pawns or your pawns. So, yeah, I thought you were doing better in development, but I was okay with it. And at this time, actually, I'm a little bit ahead on time, just a little bit.
It's true.
Okay. So yeah, I saw that move and I was like, oh man, I'm in trouble.
Which move? A4?
Yeah, because I was thinking next is this move. I thought this was your next move that I could expect. And then I was worried about this move. And so I was like, well, if he does this, I think I almost have to take. You obviously can't take for the same pin that you were talking about.
Right. But I could retake with the bishop or the knight.
Right. And you get either your knight or your bishop. And I thought, oh, that's okay. I'll live with it. But I still remember I want to take here first. Yes. So then I had to think, well, if I take here, if you take with the queen, I'm going to probably trade queens. Your knight's going to get here. It's going to simplify everything. And then I didn't know if I'm in an advantageous pawn structure, if everything gets traded off. So that was, I liked it for you. I didn't like it for me.
Yeah, it's a good question. I do a little bit wonder who would be doing better in the potential endgame where we trade everything right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I only toyed very little about sacrificing the knight for the 2 pawns. It didn't work in any way that I could see that it would actually give me enough of an advantage to be worth it.
Yeah, I was actually calculating that. I think I spent part of the reason that I got so low on the clock is that I was constantly calculating various sacrifices. Like there's knight takes on b4, there's bishop takes on b4, there's after I push the pawns later, there's both those moves.
Yep.
There's potential pins on the c file, which we'll see later. So
yeah,
a lot of tactical very tactical game, but like behind the scenes.
Yes. So I was glad when you took with the knight, because I thought if you took with the queen, I wasn't sure. I might have just dropped back.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think I wanted to trade queens. You still couldn't take with the pawn though, so you still had to take with the knight. And then I could have gotten my knight out, and again, if you took, I don't know who's better. So it's just, I would have had to think a lot. So I was like, I'm so glad I took with the knight. I don't have to make a decision on that aspect.
Makes your life easy.
Much easier.
Yeah.
I just wanted to develop it, and I did see that there were checks here possible in the future. So it was nice to, back when I had the queen here and you did this, I was like, okay, I always got to remember there's possible checks, but then the queen made more sense over here at the time, and now my queen can't get over here, so now I'm hoping the bishop can maybe help.
Yep.
So here again I didn't know what I would do if you do this. I can't remember, I think I might have even contemplated pushing this pawn and not taking. Because if I do it and I take, you get to take back with your knight, and I still didn't know if I liked it or didn't like it, but yeah, I thought it was better after trading the knights that I could deal with either pawn push, and I thought about this pretty clearly, so I think I did that one pretty fast. So here you had 20 minutes left. And then you got down to 13 minutes. You used
7 minutes on a4.
Yeah, 7 minutes. I thought that was... I started looking at the clocks thinking, if you keep going at that rate, I could just play solid moves and you're going to get into time trouble. Not that with the 30-second increment you shouldn't get flagged, but if you're playing at that...
You're right.
Yeah, I was just thinking that if you kept playing at that rate, it would hurt you. So here you didn't waste any time, and this one though took you 9 more minutes.
Yeah. So this was, I think, calculating a lot of the captures and stuff.
Okay.
And basically deciding what I was going to do depending on where your queen moved.
So tell me about that, because I was paying attention and I noticed, and I'm like, well, I'm no way I'm going to do this and just totally undevelop my queen, lock my queen up in a doghouse forever. So I thought, okay, I've got these two choices, and here I'm at least attacking here, and here it doesn't do anything better. So I was thinking this out of the two, this was clearly, at least it gave me a tempo of an attack, right? You had to reply to the attack. So I thought, you almost, because you had pre-moved and moved at one point. The knight take, I think, was a pre-move. And I was like, he's going to, he'll almost pre-move this move. Because it's like, I only have really one good square, so he's going to pre-move it. But you didn't, and you took like another 40, 50 seconds, and I was like, well, because you get 30 seconds plus, so you took I think you took over a minute, right? You took a minute and 30 seconds for the next move, and I was like, I thought he should go a lot faster. I thought you were ready, and the next 2 or 3 moves you were going to rip off really fast.
Well, you're probably right about that. I should have gone faster at this point. I wasn't really happy with my position at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to decide, like, sort of, where these pieces belonged, and whether I was going to have an attack on your king side, or whether I should try to figure out how to push my queen side pawns, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But
no worries. I just thought that you spend so much time, 9 minutes on this move, that you would have been like, okay, and when he moves, I'm going to do this, and so that it would have been, just faster. That next move, at least, I thought you had already prepared, and I thought you could have went to any of these squares. You could have moved the bishop, And maybe that's the problem. You have a lot of ways that you can protect the pawn. A lot of ways. Okay. I just needed to develop my pieces. I'd spent all that time not developing anything. So, hey, we'll see you later, Linear Stark. I decided I gotta develop, right? What I've left, I've got to develop it.
Yeah, I felt similarly. Again, I had to make sure that there were no sacrifices at this moment, but that's actually why I ended up taking your knight here.
Okay.
After you played the bishop out, if I just leave this alone, like if I just, I don't know, if I play like bishop e2 or something, then I'm pretty sure that this knight move is very good.
Yeah, because you can take that though, right?
Yeah, I can. I have to worry about this check as an in-betweener.
Okay.
And then you can potentially recapture. You recapture, take some stuff. And I'm not sure if I'm loving this position.
Okay, but you are up a piece.
Now it's okay, but
I didn't like it because you were still up a whole piece.
Right. Piece for 2 pawns for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't. I didn't see it being good enough. But again, with the time crunch, I might have tried it just because you would have had to find answers faster. And my moves should be rather straightforward between castling and then getting rooks on the open file. But you ended up attacking the bishop with your knight, and I'd have to start by moving the knight. So I kept looking, and actually I was taking this pawn, not your knight. Oh no, that's what you said. Sorry, but I was trying to figure out how to win this pawn.
I think taking the knight here works. After you've played the bishop move, I think, like right now, if black plays knight takes d4,
yes,
that actually does work.
Right, because you have to take here, and then, in fact, something like that happened in the game. Right. So that's what I was gaming for. That's exactly what I was gaming for. Was I saw that possibility. So because I was gaming for that, I took back with the queen. And then afterwards, I was like, wow. I decided I didn't want to take back with the bishop because this way the queen still, right? I still have the alignment with your queen. My queen is now protected, and I still have the possibilities of it hitting on this file may be doing something eventually. This pawn still kept your bishop out. I wasn't worried about that. So I thought I'd take back with the queen. And only after I took back, I said, I never even contemplated taking with the pawn. I don't like it, but I didn't even think about it. And I was like, why didn't I even think about it? Because I was probably too set. I was really set on this pawn. I was so set on this discovered attack that I didn't even contemplate taking with the pawn and blocking my queen.
So I saw the discovered attack, and part of the advantage of bishop d3 is that it actually defends my queen.
Yes.
You sacrifice.
Yes.
Covered.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, I could take now. And then I was like, wait, he's protecting it. He did more than, because I was like, oh, you didn't protect the, I thought you might do something like this or something like this. And you protected your queen just in a way that I was like, it didn't dawn on me right away. I was like, oh, can I take now? And I was like, no, you can't take. You can't take.
Too bad for me.
So my only other thoughts were that this could be a possibility later. If I can get this pawn push in, I might be able to get that. But then I even thought with this pawn push, you get here. I could take queen, but it's not clear at all. But this was a hope for the later. I also liked my queen here because of that diagonal as well as this file. So I liked your move. You're attacking my pawn twice.
Yep. Briefly, we have a threat on h7.
Yes.
So you make a counter threat. I can't take right now because, if I do that, it's a mess. You just take here.
Yep.
I have to take back. You take back. Now you're on this bishop and this bishop.
Agreed. I mean, you can attack the rook to try to make it, but I think I'm still happy. I'm happy with this pawn for this pawn. I don't think the H pawn was as valuable as your C pawn because now this is a passed pawn.
That's right.
Yep. So I was happy.
And also the B4 pawn is very weak. That's the third attack in that position.
Yep. So I was very happy with if that were to have happened. I was okay, and that's why I said, yep, I'll just play for my attack first and see if you actually want to take.
So here I just had to decide between rook c1 and bishop d4. And I went with rook c1 to avoid the sacrifice.
Still, yes, that's true. And now that I have the rook, that was my other thought. Very good. Very good. My thought was that I could take now because even if you, like you said, your bishop's here, you can't take back. You'll lose the bishop. So you're right.
Which means that so after rook c1, I'm again threatening to take on h7. So that threat's renewed.
Yes, because I can't take here without losing material.
Right.
Yep. And so I thought I'd throw in the check. No, I don't throw in the check yet.
No,
I do this move.
Right.
Yeah.
F5.
And you took a while. I thought it'll complicate it. It'll make it difficult for him to decide. If you take with the pawn, I was going to take back. Yeah. With the bishop and hit this.
With the pawn at all.
Okay.
I hardly even considered it.
Oh, really?
I was basically like, takes f6 is definitely out.
Okay.
So it's just a question of where do I want my king to be?
Because I was thinking you might take here.
I guess. Can't you just take on c3?
With the queen or with the bishop? Yeah, if you take, oh yeah, because it's check.
Yeah.
I didn't even.
You get b4.
Yeah, I forgot it was check.
Right.
I forgot it was check. I was thinking that you would come here with check, and I felt like I might get in trouble, especially.
That is very scary.
I kept looking at this bishop being here and here, and wherever I put the king, that bishop is coming, and it would like be checkmating possibilities, because if you could get this check in, where do I go? If I go here, this is give up your queen, and if I go here, it's give up your queen. Well, not really. I guess I could step up, but it still didn't feel very good. So that's what I was worried about, forgetting the fact that it was a check. So I think I was thinking I would have to take with the queen with check. And then it's still, okay, so I still get to win the bishop, though.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So I thought it worked, but I was worried about it. And in fact, even in my notes, I said I think I would have just taken this quickly. At the time, I would have taken it quickly. But now looking at it, yeah, it's not the best idea.
Well, it's better than what I played, so maybe I should have just done that.
Or you could have just castled, right?
Yes, that's right. And I should have just castled here.
I think you should have castled. I think you definitely should have just castled.
Yeah.
I was expecting you to castle, and I was happy with what I had, and I was happy with the situation because now that your bishop is blocked off, I can castle if I want. I just thought it was going to, like you said, I thought we were just going to continue playing this game. I thought it was an equal game, and it was going to be hard to find moves for either one of us. But yeah, this move I thought was just, I didn't understand it because there's nothing to keep out of here.
Oh, I was planning to push G4.
Oh, okay.
And have it be supported by a pawn.
Okay.
And I was basically expecting my king could be safe without castling, just because of how close the center is and things like that. But I didn't see this combination that you played.
Okay. I was thinking my king might be. I was thinking my king was safe in the center too for the same type of reason, except I really didn't like your bishop.
Those dark squares.
All those dark squares are so painful in my mind. Yeah, so I was extremely happy to see that, even though I was thinking stay in the center. I would have been okay with castling because I probably would have castled also, and then connect the rooks and try to get something going. But I think again it would have been a slow journey, and I didn't know if you had the time. So you were down to a minute, basically.
Yeah.
But you got me to spend a lot of time too. So I don't know why I spent a whole minute on that move. But I don't remember what I was contemplating why I took a minute for that move. Oh, I know. I think I may have been thinking this. In fact, I know I had thought that in my head. Because I thought, well, if I say check, you're just going to move away, right? And I wouldn't get much out of it. You move away somewhere. But I thought it was better than my bishop doing nothing here anyway. So I think I thought about for a while, do I want to do this first and maybe try to do this? Or I didn't know. Okay. I was trying to figure out why I took a minute for that choice, but I see.
Alright, you're getting some moves. Yeah, so I played King E2 here, and I had like a miscalculation on a move order thing.
Okay.
So I knew you could play D4.
Right.
But I was expecting you to actually come in with that bishop, move it again, and move bishop G3.
Oh, okay.
And then I was going to play King F3, and I was checking to make sure that D4 didn't work for you. So I saw this, and I liked this for me, because this pawn's very weak. This E pawn has got no support. And my king looks a little funny, but is actually pretty safe over there because you can't get your pieces around very quickly.
Yep.
But I completely missed that you already had a threat on the light square diagonal, which was just this pawn on G2.
Gotcha.
And that's that's the problem with having one minute clock.
Yes.
You can see some things, but not everything.
Exactly. And I totally agree, and that's kind of like I was banking on that to a degree. I was like, well, I'm going to play the clock as a piece for me that I'm going to keep complications because I thought even though it's a minute and you have 30 seconds every time you move, every time I looked up, you still had a minute. I was like, why isn't he lower? It's because you kept moving with 30 seconds. But I just assumed that since you were spending more time on each move before that 30 seconds would feel fast for you. So and I thought if 30 seconds feels fast for you, then it's going to be hard for you to find good moves. At least that was
a lot of 4-second increment bullet. So
I can't stand.
I don't know.
bullet.
I can play fast, but the quality is just not there.
Yeah, that's why I don't like bullet. Because if I play bullet, it's horrendous. I'm free candy, as I call it. I'm giving away free candy all over the place, pretty quickly because
Halloween.
yeah, it's And it's like you come to the door and it's like, here, have all the treats you want. All right, so yeah, I was.
This is an excellent tactical exercise here, and then, once you push D4, I'm pretty much lost. But actually doing the attack was pretty tricky.
Yes, I was happy with this. I got it. I took a minute just to double check, and I was like, oh, he moved up. And I was like, dang, he moved up. Now what am I doing? So I had to be careful because, I didn't want to trade. I thought about trading off queens, and I thought you were actually better if I trade off queens.
Yeah, I think that might be right.
I did not like how it felt if I traded off queens. Obviously, you have to take that way, right? Oh, no, you could actually take with the bishop, right? You could have taken either way.
Because my other bishop's covering C3.
The pawn, yeah. And I just thought this was... I didn't think this was going to be good for me.
Yeah, I think this is good for white. I have like a more active king. It's probably just a draw, actually.
Yeah, I would hope I could get a draw. I mean, everything being equal and you lower on time, but it would totally kill the attack. And I was like, and what'd you get for it? Right? I mean, I didn't feel like I really would have gotten anything for it. So I had to find another move. And so that one I did spend. How much time did I spend on that one? Another minute and a half at least.
Yeah, 2 minutes, I think. Oh, minute and a half, you're right.
Yeah. So obviously you couldn't go down, right? If you go down, sorry, you can't.
I dropped the rook with check.
Right. Right. So you couldn't go down. So these are the only two legal moves. Can't put the bishop in front.
I could block with the bishop, but that just loses a bishop.
Right. So the only two actual moves you had were those two. And I didn't think hard about it because I just figured, hey, I'm chasing the king. Good things are going to happen. I realized if you went down, you were going to lose the rook. So I was like, okay, you can't go down. And I didn't think about what else you might do. I didn't really even look at this really hard. But once I decided that I can get enough momentum, but as soon as you moved, I was like, okay, I can't take. Because that was in my mind back when I first started looking at the analysis was, oh, I could take the queen and then what? I don't know. But yeah, this didn't have anything. Oh, thank you for the follow. Wero 008. And I had some fantasy in my head before you moved. Before you moved here, because I was like, okay, if he goes down, he loses the rook. And I thought if you move up, because, without you doing it yet, I was thinking if you go up, I'm going to go here. And that was before I went here with the bishop and before I pushed the pawn. I thought, oh, I'll be able to go here, and then you have to come back, and then I'll have a discovered attack. Just missing the fact. But once I was here, I realized I can't do that. You just take it.
That's right.
So I mean, as far as my brain works, here, I looked far enough. I looked at this far enough that I was thinking that when my queen is here and your king goes here, my bishop goes here.
Right.
Forgetting the fact that your king is no longer blocking the queen.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how far I was trying to calculate. But when I got here, I was like, oh, I can't do that. And then I was like frustrated because I was like, I can't do that. What do I do now? And that's when I said, I can't take your queen. So I felt like that was the only thing I had left. And I thought, okay, I win this pawn. So now I get 2 pawns out of it. And depending on where you go, I was thinking if you go here, and I take here, and you go here, I can get this pawn. And now, with all those pawns, I might be okay with trading queens.
Of course.
That was my thought.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't play king d2 here. I played king e2.
Yeah. And then I had to think long and hard again. Yeah. I thought, how long? My longest thing?
Was exactly right. It was exactly the right move.
Okay. I'd spent the 4 minutes. I figured I can either get the bishop active, and then I thought I still get to win this pawn. And it was like, I looked at some options. If you went here, I thought I could just take the rook. If you go after my king, then I can go here. I mean my queen. I can go here.
Right.
And then take this pawn next. If you come after me this way, the same thing. So, yeah, I was thinking, I'm feeling good.
Peter actually suggests rook h to f1 here.
Okay.
To cover that pawn and to get off this bishop's diagonal.
Yeah.
But it also says, white is totally lost.
Oh, does it? Because I think
So you just,
I think my plan
you
was
could just
that.
castle or something. Yeah, that's also fine. Everything's fine.
Okay.
Everything wins.
Because this was my plan, but now I'm looking at it. Can't you block? Oh, but you still no. I can't. I can't take. Oh, I could take because it's check. Never mind. I was thinking you'd take there, but
yeah.
so you
So
got
then you've at least won an exchange.
right, and then I could actually take here even because you don't have a check with the black dark squared bishop. Yep. Okay. Cool.
There's one other moment in this game that I liked, which was right here. So I brought this rook over. Your queen is actually pretty close to trapped.
Yeah, he's the only square he has is this one, right?
You check me with this light square bishop, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to move my king up, defending that only escape square. And now your queen is actually trapped.
Yes. Yes.
I thought, for the first 30 seconds of looking at this position, I thought I was winning now.
Okay.
Because at first I saw the queen is trapped. That's probably good for me. Then I saw the discovery here. But that actually doesn't work because I take your queen first.
Yes.
And if you take mine, I can just take this pawn up here.
Yes.
And then even if you trade bishops, like, I'm just up a pawn, my rook's great, everything's fine for me. I'm
Yes.
totally winning.
Totally agree.
But, and I knew that every queen move was bad because your queen is totally trapped. No matter where you move, I can take it. The one thing I didn't see at first was that you have one discovery here that also protects your queen, blocks the rook attack.
Yep.
That move totally crushed me.
So the fun part is, and I was talking about it on stream a couple of days ago, that I make the mistake, and I don't think, I mean, if I, back here, if I was you, I'd be thinking, same way, I'd be like, oh, I go here, I trap the queen, it's over. You know, he could do this, but then I'm winning. Oh yeah, I got him. The queen is mine. And the thing that happens in my head is I realized, or at least I think of it this way, hey, Chess Kudo, I thought, yes, bishop to g2 is the answer. Yes, and it did work. The thing that I realized is, if you looked at it and you said, well, black's lost, right? Black goes here, he loses. Any place he puts the queen, he loses. Any place he puts the bishop, he loses the queen. So this is a winning move. The thing I realized is that if there is actually a way to get out of it, black will find it because he's forced to find it. He has no other choice. Although every other move is losing, if every other move is losing, he's going to find the one non-losing move if there is a non-losing move.
Right.
And so that's where you would have to like really look hard and say, okay, is that really true? You know, I really got to look hard because he's going to find the move. So I got to make believe I'm black and say, what could I do? Even the things that I don't think would work, I might have to look at something. So yeah, that's where I was. I was like, okay, yeah, I only have one way out of this now. And it's funny because I never really thought about the queen being trapped as much as I was just like, this doesn't work. I can't do this, and I still want to say check, and so yeah. I don't really think I even really realized the queen was dead meat as much as
you didn't think about it that way.
I didn't think I just thought about the fact, yeah, I have to continue the attack, and the only way I can continue the attack because this doesn't work. I did look at
the
that,
only move.
right?
Yeah.
And then
You found it.
yeah, and then it was nice because then I thought, well, I can go here or I can go here. Of course, I want to go here with check, again, just grabbing tempos, and I like that the bishop. All these squares were taken.
Right.
So that felt good. And then here I don't know if I did the best move, right? I think I just took your rook, yeah. I didn't know if there was anything else. I kept looking to see, I could say check, but then you just come back, and then I didn't see that I got anything, and I still got to protect this bishop. So I thought it was time to cash in.
I think you were right. I think
Okay.
Bishop taking h1 is the right move here. And then that's the game. I think, one more moment, but I got to run. Thanks for going over the game with me.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time, and maybe we could do it again sometime, maybe of your other game.
Yeah, I'd love to.
All right.
All right, take care.
All right, bye. Hey guys, so hey Baxterish, how are you? So that was awesome. I got to go over the game with my opponent from today's. We got actually played today. Played almost back to back. I played on Monday in the Lone Wolf, and then I played today. And I'm still working on trying to do all those things that I want to do when I'm playing. Right? I want to go through the analysis of the position. I want to find 3 candidate moves, and I've been doing better, but I'm still not playing the way I want to play. I'm not fully playing the way I want to play. Who's that? My opponent? Sounds familiar? I don't know. He was on earlier with me today. He came on at the beginning because I told him 8 o'clock, and then of course the tournament was on today, so we couldn't do it until now. I told him we'd be done with the tournament in an hour and a half, and he offered to come back. So I was very happy that he was able to come back. And nice gentleman, nice analysis, and I love hearing how other people think and what they see in the game. So yeah, the game continued with this. So I took with check, and then get to do a double attack. Alignment issues, guys. So I got to take, and taking here. Still, I mean, he's going to be down a piece, right? He's going to be down a full piece. Right now, he's down 2 pieces. So, and if he doesn't take my queen, I'm going to take his queen. So if he takes here, I could take the queen. The king goes over, and I was very happy and very comfortable. And so he resigned at that point. But yeah, very good game. Really interesting to hear that he looked up my openings and decided that he had a line that he wanted to play against my pet opening. He figured out my pet opening. It's truly my pet line. So that's really interesting, and it does prove that maybe there's a benefit to playing different variations when you play when you play a serious game from what you've maybe been playing for the last 6 months, so that people can't prep for you so easily. And it could be anywhere along the line, right? I could have had any surprise move along the line. But if you just play the exact same thing, they're going to get to give you a surprise move that they've prepped for you. And if it's a good move, you're in trouble. And if it's not a good move, you have to find it over the board, which means you have to spend time. So it could, you could be in trouble time-wise. Anyway, guys, really nice stream tonight. We got to go over 1,500 games. Got to go over my game. I'm enjoying it. So let's get back to Twitch. Let's see if we can find someone to raid. So Marichess is on. Let me go full screen so you guys can see what I can see. So Marichess is on. She is a young lady that I usually don't raid, only because I have young kids that watch me, and she sometimes has language. But Katie Learns is a new guy that I've been introduced to. I believe he's in the Union. And so we could definitely raid Katie Learns. Again, thank you so much for your time and for joining me and helping me. No, it wasn't 1,500 games. It was the under 1,500 tournament. Sorry. It was the under 1,500 tournament. We were reviewing the games as they were being played. I'm trying to give a quote of the day before I leave each night. And so for tonight, it's part of development, a process for development to keep in your mind a little mantra. It's knight, bishop, castle. Actually, it's knight, bishop, queen, castle. And the reason the queen comes first is because if you do knight, bishop, you might want to decide to castle either side. So if you can, you could do knight, bishop, queen, then castle. So that would be the order in general. Sometimes you do bishops first, but I see a lot of people that do bishop, don't even develop a knight, get into trouble. A lot of people develop the queen too early, get in trouble. So knight, bishop, queen, castle. Oh yeah? What idea before I raid? What's your idea? I love ideas. And I love being able to take credit for helping you come up with an idea. You're welcome. Whatever that is. Knight, bishop, queen, castle. Alright, so we're going to raid Katie Learns. He plays on... This definitely is chess.com. I love supporting people that are on Lead Chess, but he looks like he's on chess.com, but that's okay. Right? We don't really hold anything. Oh, where the pieces are given in order, but not where they go, right? And you have to guess the opening. Like pawn, pawn, bishop, pawn, knight, for example. Nice. That would be kind of fun thing to do. And are you going to do both the white and the black, or are you just going to do like from one side? So as an example, what would this one be? I'm going to try to see if I can get it in my head. Knight, pawn, pawn, bishop. What opening? Those are all white moves. All white moves. Any idea what that opening would be? Yeah, it would be hard. And I think I would say only do one color, because if you do both colors, no, I was actually doing the King's Indian attack. So like birds that I like to play, it could be pawn, knight, bishop. But that would just be the white side. What black does in reply could be hundreds of things. So I don't know. Try it out. Make it up. Bring it to. Let me check. Yeah, I'll take the quiz too. I don't remember. Are you streaming, Chess Kudo? You stream, right? Yeah, you stream. You're not streaming right now, but you stream, right? Yeah, do it on your stream and let me know when you're going to do it, though. I want to come and watch. That sounds like a fun activity. I like it. All right, I'm going to raid KD Learns. You have your quote for the day. Oh, there's only 2 of us here, too. So it's not a big raid. All right, guys. Have a good night. I will see you Friday at lunch. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.